Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Introduced audience to one of the most iconic mystery-solving teams in television history. The series follows Mystery Inc., including Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo, as they investigate haunted houses, ghostly legends, creepy monsters, and strange local mysteries. Blending comedy, suspense, and kid-friendly horror, the show became a gateway into spooky storytelling for generations of viewers. While its monsters usually turn out to be people hiding behind masks, Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? Remains a classic because it made fear fun, mysteries accessible, and horror safe enough for the whole family.
What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of So You Like Horror. And for the theme of the year, we've been talking about horror television, and we've, so far gone over, what did we go over? Haunting of Hill House, Midnight Mass, The Twilight Zone. So we've dipped our toes in some things. At this point now, we're going to kind of tone it down just a little bit. And we're going to actually talk about, well, we did do kind of a kid-friendly one when we talked about Are You Afraid of Dark? Well, we're going to make a return to that by talking about Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? And specifically the original series from 1969. So that's where we're going to kind of focus our attentions here today. And joining me for this episode is actually, it's a family event since our daughter's birthday just recently passed. We're going to have Sophie.
Hello.
And then, of course, my wife here, Sarah Beth.
Hello.
So we'll, Sarah and I are going to kind of do a good deal of the explaining here of the series, but we're going to have some questions here for Sophie, so that way, she's going to get some interaction and give her thoughts and opinions as well on Scooby-Doo, Where Are You? So, as I want to open up here and just give us kind of a opening of the series, in the early days, before horror became like slashers, possessed dolls, demons, and trauma that you need therapy to unpack. A lot of us got our first taste of spooky storytelling through Scooby-Doo. And I've had this conversation with teammates when I brought this up, and they're like, well, Scooby-Doo's not horror. And I was like, well, this just goes again into, your definition of horror. Everybody loves to think that it's only, slashers and possession and stuff like that. But like, this is a gateway horror. So that's why this is important. So this premiered in 1969, and the show gave us Mystery Inc., which Mystery Inc. includes Fred, Daphne, Velma, Shaggy, and Scooby-Doo, who the show is. What? That's actually something I thought. I was like, they named it Scooby-Doo. Why not just call it Mystery Inc.?
I don't know.
That's
because even the theme song is Scooby-Doo.
I guess Mystery Inc. didn't have a good ring to it in the theme song. I don't know.
Maybe that. Yeah.
I mean, they could have just rewrote the jingle. Duh. I'm sure there's a broader reason to why, but whatever. But basically, you had Mystery Inc. traveling from one creepy location to the next, running into ghosts, monsters, foggy docks, haunted mansions, abandoned amusement parks, and villains hiding behind masks. And what made the show work is that it let kids enjoy the feeling of being scared without pushing it too far. There was always tension, but there was also comedy. Like, they even had like a little laugh reel.
The old laugh reel.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
and the silly noises when like things would happen. So yeah.
Yoinks.
Yeah.
And because they got to remind you
when the feet are going really fast. Yeah, that little. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They bring in that cartoon feel. So
Yeah, and they always have to remind you, hey, this is the laughing part. This might be scary, but laugh. It's fine. But there are monsters, but there was usually a logical explanation. So by the end, like Mystery Inc., the gang, they solved the mystery, exposed the villain, and reminded us that sometimes fear is just a cover for someone else's plan. And that's why Scooby-Doo still feels important. It gave generations of viewers one of their first safe steps into the world of horror. So that's why I think this is important. So, Sarah, I want to ask you, like, when you think back on Scooby-Doo, do you see it more as a comedy, a mystery, a horror, or kind of a combination of all three?
I always thought it was like a funny mystery cartoon. I never saw it as a horror.
Yeah, I think the ideal of the horror came in like monsters, because again, that's what people define horror with, is monsters. And sometimes, you have like your specters and your goblins.
They did a lot of like, the folklore things. Like there was like swamp things and Dracula's, mummies, witches, or just anyway, there's just like a whole bunch of those little things. But it never, the background always seemed dark. But it was never like, I was too shooketh from things like Gremlins and Gomork from Neverending Story. So I had other horror things that hit me. The cartoon did not. I never felt cartoons were scary.
I think that's the ideal too. They weren't meant to be
meant to be scary.
No.
It was a good mystery show though.
I feel like it was always just meant, it wasn't meant to be scary, but it was meant to give you, like, again, it shows like ghosts, goblins and stuff. So it gives you these safe things.
Yeah.
It gives you these things that are presented in a safe space.
Yes. There's uncertainty, but in a safe pattern.
Yeah. Sophie, for you, is Scooby-Doo, what do you look at as kind of scary, funny, or both?
I say mostly just funny.
Yeah. For you, I don't think it's really scary at all.
No.
It's mostly, it seems like it's silly. Whenever we're watching it, it's something goofy, silly. Just like the TV's being silly right now in the background as I'm trying to get Scooby-Doo to play, and
I don't want to.
It's just not picking up a signal down here, and I'm not going to fight with it. So
no, it's fine.
Whatever. But Scooby-Doo does have a specific formula, and
yes,
that's...
Well, basically, as we've discussed, like one of the reasons that Scooby-Doo, Where Are You specifically, because they have so many different
I think
varieties.
Every so many years, it's like
they add like a different name to the show.
This one went from 1969 to like 72 maybe.
Yeah.
And then they came back with the Scooby-Doo show, and then they came...
The one with Scrappy-Doo?
No, that Scrappy-Doo was like late 70s, early 80s.
Okay. Well, I remember I was watching all this stuff in syndication, and then there was the one where they're little kids.
That was a pup named Scooby-Doo.
I remember that one a lot.
80s.
Okay.
And then there's the 13 Ghosts of Scooby-Doo. The Scooby-Doo show followed Scooby-Doo, Where Are You?
Right, but they all had the same kind of formulaic, formula to them. That was silly, formulaic formula. That's silly.
I'm not judging, but I know people listening are.
At least I can make fun of myself.
And if they're judging, I'm right there.
I'm fine with it. That's fine. We all make mistakes.
I don't.
So basically, one of the reasons that Scooby-Doo, Where Are You has lasted so long is because the structure, like we said, is easy and fun to follow. So it's also fun to revisit with the nostalgia of it. Yeah. Most episodes, of course, begin with the gang arriving somewhere that is usually strange, creepy, abandoned, one of those things. There's usually a rumor about a ghost, a monster, some kind of curse.
Like urban legends before we knew what the urban legends were.
Nobody goes there because blah, blah, blah. That's why it's so run down, that kind of thing. And how they always just seem to be driving by. Are they on like some like never-ending road trip?
So I thought about that this morning.
They got no luggage in the back. They just always run around the mystery van.
They're just on the road. And it was like, just happen upon mysteries. Which makes me wonder. I think they're causing them. I think they're in cahoots.
Something. What? Maybe some strange, weird, like a multiverse kind of thing where they're the ones stuck in the nightmare.
It's like the theory about Murder, She Wrote, where they're like Jessica, like she was the one actually committing the crimes
in order to solve them.
And then, yeah.
No.
So, it makes sense. Murder, She Wrote.
Well, maybe it's just all in her imagination. Because she writes the mystery stories. Or Bob Ross really was making paintings of where
I don't think that was at all happening, but I think that homegirl from Murder, She Wrote was out there killing.
I don't know. I would honestly have to look at it again from a fresh adult eye. Mind you, I was a child watching that.
Because that's the whole problem with the internet now. Everyone's like, get these theories now. Like,
it's like, did you know? No, little child. I knew decades ago. Calm down. I know it's new for you. But anyway, when all of these things come about, they decide they're going to butt their little noses in and investigate. So from there, everyone falls into their roles. We got Scooby and Shaggy, who are terrified and usually looking for food or just a way out of the mystery because they're like, we don't feel like catching the smoke. And Velma, of course, starts to notice the clues. Fred tries to organize the group and set the trap. And then Daphne often finding the dangers or clues or both.
Daphne always felt like the most useless member.
Girl, let me tell you what.
They were just like, throw redhead in there. Throw ginger spice in there.
Well, they have to have the eye candy.
Yeah, I guess.
I don't know. It was part of the formula too.
I mean, Velma was low key, you know.
I'm just saying.
If you pay attention, well, at least to the movie with what's her name? Like Hawkeye's wife.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, wait a minute, that's Velma.
So eventually, in the episode, each episode, it builds to a chase scene, which of course ends with the funny, like, you know, little music and everything, which I always loved them when they were like going back and forth in the hallways. And you're like, how does that happen? Like, you know, as a kid, you're like, that's so silly. Anyway, so the monster, of course, always eventually gets caught. And then the truth, of course, comes out. The pattern that became part of the comfort of the show, you know something spooky is going to happen. You know that Shaggy and Scooby are going to panic as usual. You know, zoinks. Ruh-roh roared. Ruh-roh. You know that the trap might not go as planned, which usually it didn't. It usually messed up in some way. But they always caught the person.
But that was part of that persistence, right? If it fails,
right? Try again.
Yeah.
You know, but you know also that the mystery is going to be solved. That's part of the formula. It's part of the safe fail. And then the structure gives the kids the excitement of a scary story without leaving them stuck within their fears. You know, it's like the mystery is the problem can be solved. Yeah. You don't have to be stuck like these people and just let it happen. You can take control and you can fix it.
Yeah. Like, do you think the formula makes the show better or does it make it too predictable?
I mean, it's definitely predictable, but also kids thrive off of predictability. They thrive off of familiarity, you know, schedules, all that kinds of thing. It's a safe thing.
I think like as adults, and I find it difficult when I talk to other adults about this, like recently, because we're adults and we look at Scooby-Doo, we look at it now, how we see it, and kind of connect that to when we were kids. So then we're like, well, when I was a kid, I always knew. I was like, well, I feel like as a kid, you might have had an idea, but you're still surprised by some things. But like, you can't think about it like as you are as an adult, because that happens in a lot of conversations. But I do think, yeah, like you said, the kids do kind of thrive off of the predictability. But I also think too, you know, for us as adults, I try to look at it like now for our own kid. It's like, is this something that's, you know, that she can kind of learn something from, gain something from in watching these things? Or is it just kind of dribble?
I mean, for me as a kid, I never really paid attention to the clues that were left behind usually. Very, very, very rarely. I was also playing while I was watching it.
Oh, yeah.
And then it was, I always knew that it was going to be solved. And I was always curious to see, well, who was it?
Yeah, well, that was always my thing. It's like, I want to know
nosy.
who it was.
I got to know. Who was it?
It's like, as you get older, though, it's almost like there's like, you can tell who it is once you're older and you understand it. But as a kid, it's like, I need to know who
oh my gosh,
is behind that mask.
I didn't know that's who was there. Who's doing? I'm like, oh, but I get why they did it, because they didn't want to lose whatever it was that they had, or this, that, and the other. It's like, wow, that's rough.
Well, there's a couple episodes that hit on some like really heavy adult type, like he did this because he didn't want to lose the carnival.
Family farm or whatever. Yeah, it's like,
I was like, oh, like, and as a kid, you're just like, oh, okay, like, I mean, move on.
You would have got away with it too.
And Sophie, what is your favorite part about Scooby-Doo? The monsters, the chase, the trap, or when they reveal who the monster really was?
It's mostly kind of when, I don't know, maybe probably when they figure out who it is.
Yeah, the big reveal.
Like who did it?
Yeah.
Like you found out who did it behind the who done it.
Yeah.
All right.
That's right.
Yeah.
And if it wasn't for those smart kids, they would have got away with it.
Those weirdly smart kids that are just traveling and happen upon my farm.
In the middle of where?
Like,
Alabama.
And the sun's never
yeah.
shining where they're at.
No.
It never shines.
That's why
it's
it's
always
Alabama.
dark and gloomy. And you think they're stuck in Washington State or something.
well, I don't know. Maybe.
It rains a lot up there.
Perhaps.
All right, well, let's move along to who makes the show work. So instead of spending too much time breaking down every single character separately, it just makes more sense for us just to look at Mystery Inc. as a team, because that's what they are. There's, win, lose, or draw, they always try to work together. And it's very rarely that they split up because they were upset with each other.
Yeah,
you know, they never really tend to butt heads that much.
They've had an episode or two where like Shaggy and Scooby might beef a little bit.
Yeah.
But I think because they're the silly, they are the silly characters.
Yes.
So it's like, okay, it's allowed. But like Fred and Velma and Daphne, Miss Useless, you know, they're all kind of competent.
Exactly. So the group works because everyone, of course, brings something different to the mystery. Everybody has their purpose, right? So Fred's usually the planner. He likes to lead and organize the group and come up with the trap, even though sometimes the traps fall apart. They always try again. So Daphne, of course, is our brave and curious person, and a lot more helpful than people usually give her credit for.
No, she's not.
I'm just kidding. She always feels like she's completely useless. I mean, sometimes she finds something only because it's blatantly right in front of her, but we're going to run past that. Mm-hmm. Then we get Velma. She's the one that's connecting the dots. She's like, wait, didn't you say that this was this and that was that? Well, that must mean, that's how she does things.
Like, yeah, she's the one with the glasses, so of course she's going to be like,
I see the clues now fitting together.
That's the trope. The
of course.
age-old trope.
Oh, boy. It's because they got glasses. They must be smart and be able to figure everything out.
I had an old classmate tell me she sat next to me in school because I wore glasses, so she thought well, first off, and this goes into that Mandela effect conversation. So when they knew me in high school, I didn't have glasses.
No, you didn't.
I broke my glasses the summer of 8th grade, from 8th grade going to 9th. And this was a person who would have only known me in high school. She didn't know me in middle school. She was like, yeah, you wore glasses. So I sat next to you because I thought you always had the answers. I was like, girl, I had no answers. I was copying off of you.
Yo, that's worse because obviously she's the dumber one.
I mean, her credentials speak otherwise. But
she was obviously oblivious to the fact that you never wore glasses.
Yeah, I think that's a Mandela effect thing.
That's really weird. Continuing back to these guys, though. So
nerds.
We got Velma, who's connecting all the clues and figuring out what's actually going on. She's the one that figures it out. Shaggy, of course, is always scared of everything, but he still stays along with his friends, especially, next to Scoob, because that's like his buddy. And Scooby is the heart of the show. He's nervous, he's dramatic, always hungry, and somehow still ends up helping save the day.
Yeah,
and with that mix, this makes the group memorable. They have that work together thing. Fred brings the plan, Daphne brings courage, Velma brings logic, Shaggy brings comedy, and Scooby brings the heart. And together, they make the spooky parts feel fun instead of overwhelming, of course. It just really lightens the load. So,
yeah. Like, do you think that... So it's a team, but do you think any one individual kind of stands out?
No, I mean, honestly, they all work together. Without it, the show wouldn't go as smoothly as it does because everybody has their purpose. So
I don't know, man. Like, look, if I'm Scooby, I have to tell them right now, yo, this show is named after me. So I'm the most, because if I'm not here, y'all don't got a show.
Look, I always wanted to know what kind of food they were going to get into. Or what was going to scare the two of them, Shaggy and Scooby.
So as a kid that grew up with like not a lot of food in my surroundings, I would always watch this and actually get really hungry. And there were moments that this would actually make me sad because it's like, yo, that sandwich looks so good. And I know we have no sandwiches on the horizon.
Always piled so high and you're like, wow, where did you even get all that food? This place is abandoned and there's no electricity. Is that fresh?
Yeah.
Where did that come from? Not the back of the van because I didn't see anything.
I also wonder what time frame this is set in because it's like, refrigerators weren't a thing at a certain point.
Refrigerators were a thing in the 60s and 70s.
I feel like they weren't.
Refrigerators were a thing in the early 1900s.
That's make-believe.
Look at the icebox your grandmother has her TV in.
No, it's from like the 1800s.
Exactly right.
Oh my God.
Okay, 1800s. So they had ice boxes.
Well, they didn't.
And then people also had... you had your spring house.
I don't know what
and
you're
cellars.
saying.
Spring houses were like a little house that was built over like a creek or a spring where the water comes out very cold, right? And you would keep certain foods in this house because the running water kept it cold.
I need a button on this nerd.
You're welcome.
You really do.
We'll work on it. And Sophie, who would you want with you out of the Scooby-Doo gang with you in a haunted house?
Scooby.
She's like, I want the dog. Even though he's big old scaredy butt like Fang.
Yes.
Okay.
He's the most fun.
He is the most fun.
Yes, and also Scooby's cool, and I like him.
He is cool.
Freddy feels like he'd be a drag.
I know.
Like always want to lead.
I say Velma would probably be a good one.
Yeah.
So would Shaggy.
Yeah.
But Fred, I don't really feel like doing that. He just gives me the vibe of annoyingness.
Him and his ascot.
Yeah. Which is, it's like, yo, that's a wild choice to draw on that character.
The blonde head.
It's like, yeah, they're just like, we got to mix the colors up. Make one brown hair, one yellow hair, one orange hair, and then Shaggy's kind of a light brown. It's like, y'all know variety doesn't have to always be a thing. Sometimes you can have like two blondes or two redheads.
I don't know. I think
brunettes.
it works.
It's fine. Whatever. I'm just complaining now.
Daphne's hair color comes out of a box. It's fine.
All right. Well, why does Scooby-Doo matter, Sarah Beth?
Oh, why does it matter? Well, other reasons why Scooby-Doo, Where Are You matters is because it shows the kids the building blocks of horror that make the story, without making the story too intense. Because we don't want...
Yeah.
Yeah, kids can't, they don't want things too intense. And it seems like a lot of kids nowadays, and a lot of people that we know, cannot handle the intensity of real horror. So having light stuff like this is really fun.
Well, you know what I kind of think about now, even with the folks, like I would say between, I'm thinking about Ben, him being, what was he like 95?
Something
He was
like
born
that,
in 95. But basically 95.
94.
Okay. In that pocket though.
Yeah.
Kids born after that date seem to be riddled more with like, you know, if they're watching horror, they can't really handle it.
I know most adults that can't handle it.
And I feel, well, those kids
My
are now
age.
adults. But I oftentimes wonder, is like, was because they didn't have, you know, like these kind of cartoons and shows. Because even Are You Afraid of the Dark, you know, was in the 90s, and those kids could catch those in the 2000s. Goosebumps, Eek, Real Monsters, Courage.
I loved Eek, Real Monsters.
The Cowardly Dog, things like that. But I feel like those kids weren't watching those things.
Is Courage the Cowardly Dog a scary one?
Yeah.
I never watched it.
So I've seen bits and pieces of it, but in the bits and pieces that I've seen, lean heavy into like horror stuff. But, and I mean, Courage, Cowardly Dog. I don't know.
I just thought he was just scared.
Yeah, because there's monsters.
I didn't know that was why. I never watched. Like I said, I never watched it, so I wouldn't have any idea. But anyway, back to our Mystery Inc. people. So the show likes to use many classic horror ingredients. You know, we got our haunted houses, we got our ghosts, monsters, creepy music. You got like the special effects like fog and stuff in the background. Secret passage. I love the secret passages where like the bookcase like spins around and everybody gets lost, or the suit of armor that like opens and closes or moves. You know, that kind of thing. I loved all that. Through all the chase scenes in the dark hallways. But instead of turning those ideas into something that was too frightening for kids, Scooby-Doo did a very good job of balancing them with our jokes, their friendship, mystery solving, and the promise that the truth will eventually come out, which it always did, which was, like I said, it's a very good closure.
Shall set you free.
And that is what makes this such a strong gateway into horror. It gives kids the feeling of a scary story, but it also gives them room to laugh, ask questions, because they're always asking questions. Well, why is this and why is that? So you learn to question everything, and you feel safe at the end because things have been solved and wrapped up nice and neatly with a bow. But unfortunately, in life, things are not always wrapped up nice and neatly with a bow. But for them, it is. And so for a lot of people, Scooby-Doo was one of the first shows that made, you know, getting scared feel fun.
Yeah. And I guess we kind of covered it a little bit earlier as to like the feeling of Scooby-Doo when you're younger. Like you never felt it to be like spooky or anything.
No, the backgrounds had like that. It definitely had that like spooky vibe because everything was always dark and ominous and old and dirty and run down, but it never made me feel apprehensive.
Yeah. And Sophie, have you ever watched an episode of Scooby-Doo that made you feel a little nervous?
No.
Like what makes it not too scary?
I'd say probably everything.
Well,
Like it sounds pretty funny, but just not so much scary.
Like, is there anything though that you see when you're watching it that you're just like, nah? That like, I mean, even in the background right now, you see Scooby with a table and it's floating, and he just crashes the table, like that. Just it is like there's nothing scary there. I mean, there is the
Like
question
in real
of,
life, if I saw a table floating, I'd be scared.
and they even just kind of gave the explanation why the table was floating, because I was just
Is it a
about to
fan?
say, like my first thought was like, well, why is the table floating? That would be a question I would have, but then they just showed there's a fan. So it's like they give you the answers, like I wouldn't say right away all the time, but they give you the answers in a way where it's like, if you do feel uncomfortable, like, yo, why is that table floating? Like, oh, okay. Or why do I see a ghost on the wall? Oh, there's a projector. You know, stuff like
Right?
that.
It's a hologram.
It's so simple. It's just like Halloween decorations.
Right.
Exactly.
Exactly.
It's basically just one of those people in our neighborhood who has all those decorations.
Yeah.
That freak me out.
All the special effects.
So yeah, the monsters in the show, in the big reveals, that kind of, you know, needs a little bit of I guess shine. So like the monsters are usually what pull us into Scooby-Doo. Like, you know, like that's what we get into in the episodes first. Like they're the images that kind of stick with us, I guess, like ghosts, creepers, mummies, glowing figures. And a lot of that's explained away with projectors and all this stuff, sea monsters, witches, haunted armor, and all the weird creatures chasing the group through the creepy places. You know, and usually they're colorful, they're strange, and just scary enough, but not really scary to make the episode feel spooky. Because, like we said, the aesthetics matter too. Like everything looks gray and dingy, but like the monsters, the ghosts always have different colors.
They do. They always have like a theme color.
Yeah, it makes it stand out
If you
in a way.
notice, the background kind of matches the ghost too.
Yes.
It
So
usually does.
Yeah.
I wonder if there's like a purpose between like the colors in each episode.
I don't know. I'll ask Jordan Peele.
Kind of like
Because
Seriously.
he does that. It's like,
well, I mean, like there have been
these colors matter.
other shows where, like, I know you've never watched it, but like The Big Bang Theory, depending on the shirts colors that Sheldon wore, kind of like depicted certain like moods and things.
Okay.
For the episode, anyway, just
Well, I'm
sometimes
sure.
color is used, and I'm just wondering if maybe there's a purpose for that.
Perhaps.
Maybe not.
I mean,
They're like, let's just make this one more of a cool tone, and this one more of a murky green tone, and
I feel like in the 60s and 70s, it was just kind of like get the product out. Whereas, like, if this came out now,
it'd be more purposeful.
There'd be more thought behind it. You know, there'd be more reason.
And this one's like, hey, we got a lot of blue we need to use up. All right, say less.
That's
we're running out of red. Okay.
That's exactly what it is. Like, hey, we didn't have any red this episode,
We don't have any yellow, so
we're gonna have to make this work.
Blues and purples.
But the reveal is what gives the show its identity. So whenever they, you know, for whatever reason, there's someone in a costume, that big reveal always kind of gives you like the breakout theme or the identity of said episode. Like most of the time, the monster, it's not supernatural. It's someone wearing a costume, using a legend, like I mentioned, urban legends earlier, or creating fear to keep people away from the truth, like the X-Files, because the truth is out there.
Yep.
Like Mulder was trying to warn us. He told us about the whatever virus that's on that boat right now.
Antivirus?
Yeah, that was on that.
I know, you sent it to me.
Yeah, it's wild.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of that.
Wild
Have
stuff,
you?
son.
Okay.
Yes.
Like, hey, keep it on the boat. Like,
Too late.
Keep it away from me. But
I want to know where these people are getting their costumes from, or were they making them themselves? Because your FX are pretty cool.
I was thinking about the
No, I was thinking about like these guys because I'm
they're
like,
probably making them.
they could be, but like, dang, they do a pretty good job.
Well, I mean, if you've been plotting this though, you're like, yo, go ahead and like we got.
Where they get their supplies though, because it's not like they had the internet back then.
Yeah, I mean,
There weren't that many, and you know what costumes look like for Halloween back then? There were those plastic masks with like a plastic tablecloth.
I mean, there were people that were making super detailed, like a Bill Shatner mask.
Yeah,
like that got used to make the Michael Myers mask.
Okay,
that was like.
But then how did
detailed.
like they see it and they're not like, hey, I've seen that at the Halloween store. Wait, they didn't have Halloween stores back then, did they? No. Stuff just came out around Halloween. So yeah, seriously.
And I feel like the Mystery Gang or Mystery Inc. didn't like frequent Halloween stores. No, they were too busy driving around, eating Scooby snacks, which we know what Scooby snacks were. And doing mystery work.
Sure.
So Yeah, but anyhow, yeah, like basically trying to keep folks off the trail of whatever the truth was. And I think there's a few episodes too where they're like hiding treasures.
Right.
And that was another reason for like having ghosts and someone pretend to be a ghost. So it was always like a cover up of some sort, covering up a crime, covering up a treasure.
Of course.
Maybe they're trying to scare people away from, just that specific location. Maybe they're introverts and they just didn't really want people around.
Weren't there sometimes like times where people are like, oh, they're, somebody wanted to buy my land, and so they're trying to like make it so that you can't.
I can't remember the specific.
I know there's been some of those
episode, but there was one big one that made it very clear. And I want to say it was very early on because it was like, basically they were trying to buy their land, buy their farm,
so chase them off so they could keep it.
Yeah. This kind of formula is a smart idea for kids' cartoons because it teaches them that the fear can be questioned. Mm-hmm. And you can look closer at the truth.
Sure.
I guess especially these days with streaming, it gives you an opportunity really to kind of like, okay, let me double back and look at this. Mm-hmm. You can follow the clues. You can ask, what someone might gain by making other people afraid. And sometimes the monsters, as you find out, aren't real, but the person using the fear definitely is. So for kids, it had a base level, but like as an adult, when you look at it, there's layers now. And it's like,
sure.
Like, there's stuff we can understand. So it does kind of work for generations, if you ask me. Does the reveal make the show less scary or more interesting?
More interesting because I like, understanding how all the pieces fit together. So it's like, this makes so much more sense now.
Yeah. I always kind of think too, because like
what's your motivation?
A lot of times the police are there to arrest them afterwards. Like sometimes I feel like after that reveal, it's like, man, I don't think that dude should go to jail.
Yeah. It's like, why did they harm anyone? Like, I mean, unless they committed a crime, why are the police here?
Like they was just trying to like keep people from, like they're introverted. They just didn't want company. Like now you're going to take this dude to jail. Is he going to be in solitary? Because I mean, maybe that works to his like long-term plan, but if not, now he's in Gen Pop and he just ruined this dude's life. Sheesh. Sophie, do you like guessing who the monsters really are on Scooby-Doo?
Yes, I very do.
And if you made your own Scooby-Doo monster, what would it be?
I would most likely say, I would most likely try to make the monster kind of like Frankenstein, but actually make it the guy at the donut shop that they stopped at in that episode.
I got you.
Okay. I made an episode.
That sounds good.
Then they stopped at a donut shop, and it was that dude because he was sus.
Oh, well, there you go.
Okay, that Gen Z language, or as I like to say, that Chicago language. If you know, you know.
Gen Alpha language, but okay.
Okay, whatever. It's Chicago. Y'all, those kids were just stealing lingo from kids in Chicago. That's all.
Yeah,
it's all good.
Thieves.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Scooby-Doo may not necessarily be horror in the same way we talk about like slashers, possession movies, haunted house films, and darker supernatural stories, but it still belongs in that horror conversation. So like when you look at it, the show uses spooky settings, it uses monsters, suspense, creepy atmosphere, and fear as a major part of its storytelling, even though it may not exactly hit you like the fear that you would think, because they keep it lighthearted enough. But, that funny and that family-friendly atmosphere, the setup is still built around the same things that make horror work. So, there's kind of a base, surrounded by, it's like an onion with different layers. So for a lot of the viewers, this was like, that first safe introduction to horror. And you could feel nervous. You could like laughter to danger. Because again, like I said, there's Scooby-Doo floating with a table. It's silly.
It is.
Don't laugh at that. But
I mean, I can't front in real life. If I saw a table floating, I might be like, "What?
I'm not laughing.
World is going on?"
Then I think I'm in Hogwarts.
No, you would think that because you're in the Hogwarts mindset right now. Me, I'm going. I gotta go.
at all points, all the time, think I'm in a horror movie. So if I see a table floating, I'm not sticking around to
I'm going to do
question
the whole
it.
Scooby-Doo.
I'm not
and run out.
investigating. I'm leaving.
I'm leaving.
Immediately. And somebody else can tell me later that, hey, it was fine. That's
You're
cool.
gonna catch me outside.
I'm going to have to check it out.
Like, okay, that's so yeah.
And so she's the first one to die. Okay, got it.
We'll put you onto some horror movies later on and let you know why.
First
you don't
person to
stick
check
around.
things out,
Yeah.
don't make it.
Just like in every single horror movie, they always split up. Never do that.
They always split up in here too. Like, you go do this and we'll go do this, and then it's like, oh, okay.
Life tip for you guys: if something happens like this, do not split up. If you do, it's over.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's over for you.
Never split up and never say I'll be back. But
Right.
we'll get to that when you watch Scream in a few years and what the rules of a horror movie are.
Yeah, they're fun.
But yeah, basically, Scooby-Doo gives you kind of that safe feel. Was still touching on those beats and those elements. Like, would you call Scooby-Doo, horror adjacent? Possibly.
Yeah, sure.
Like,
I mean, it is horror adjacent. It's a spooky mystery. And we know that horror has many sub-genres within it.
that's what I keep trying to tell people. They want to argue.
Don't be stuck in a box.
Like people
all right?
who don't even know nothing.
It's a family tree with many branches, not a cube where everything fits into it nicely.
People who've only ever watched like a horror movie try to tell you like, well, that's not horror. Like someone just commented on the 7 episode when I posted that it was out, and I go, 7's not a horror, it's a thriller. And I just responded, okay, skip. like leave me alone. Like that's why I read at the beginning of the episode. I feel like every episode now I got to read the definition of horror to people.
I don't know. Maybe you do. Maybe they haven't got it in their head yet.
It's like,
Look up,
well, and the thing is, again, it's not just like a straightforward, like horror is slasher, horror is ghost, horror is this. Like, because I mean, okay, let's again, you want to say 7's not a horror, but then, I mean, The Sixth Sense. Like,
that's horror too.
that's horror, but
Yes.
then
It's also a mystery.
But if you want to argue, then it's like, then I could say it's not a horror.
and
it's like,
so is others.
but then they can say it is a horror because it has ghosts and dead people. It's like, okay, well, 7 has dead people too.
Yeah.
At least 6 of them. So, like, what are we doing here? Like,
No, it has more than that.
well, so of the victims,
Yeah.
6 of them, Raph did not die.
Oh.
So I know what I'm talking about. I know math.
No, it'd be 7.
Well, really, it's 8.
Yeah.
Is that a movie?
Yeah.
Oh, do they
so I
have a
guess-
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6?
Yeah. Yeah. When you're like 18, you can watch it.
Sure thing. That's in a few years. That's in
That's
8
in 8
years.
years.
That's in 8 years.
Yeah, so that's not much.
It's
So I guess
a
it's still a
rough
few.
movie.
It's not much.
No, the years aren't. You're correct.
Yeah.
But the movie is much.
Yeah.
But back to a
Yeah.
lightheartedness of Scooby-Doo.
Yeah, we'll cover 7 with you another point.
Yay.
But for you, Sophie,
Yes.
would you watch more Scooby-Doo episodes after? I mean, you like Scooby-Doo in general, though, right?
Yeah, true.
I think you like more of the more modern stuff. I'm asking, would you watch more of the older one?
I mean, I would if I want to have it in the background and I'm doing something else.
It's good for
I
like.
think you would like the pup named Scooby-Doo.
Really?
It's more cartoony,
Yeah.
kidsy, you know.
And it's funny because I didn't get it. I like as I'm an adult now, and I've seen a few episodes, and they're like, Fred was like the ditzy blonde,
Yeah.
but he would always like blame it on Red Herring.
Uh-huh.
And I was like,
Oh my God.
it was like the character, like one of the bullies.
One of the was Red Herring. Yeah.
And I didn't get it as a kid, obviously,
Right.
but as an adult, I was like, that's funny. Yes, dear.
I've realized something is that I saw one of the episodes in the background. It was like a creature. The skin was blue, but
Yeah.
I see that in like almost every single episode. Like
We
like
talk about the colors.
Yeah.
the creature looks the same in every episode. Like it's
No, not the same.
dude.
Sometimes they have a swamp thing, a witch, mummies,
Right
like
now it's an
a literal person with a sheet on them. Like, sometimes it's just they're all different,
Yeah, they have
but they're all
someone-
costumes.
or like an android,
Yeah.
like a robot,
Yeah.
a knight's armor.
Yep.
I think this one's called "Don't Ape the Ape."
So
Yeah,
probably an
something
ape
like
costume,
that.
something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah, it's something like that. And I think he was eating bacon
the
and eggs.
bananas?
No,
Never
a bacon and
ape.
egg sandwich.
What is this? It's called Never Ape. I can't read that
Never
word.
ape and ape man.
Yeah, that's those words don't even connect right.
It doesn't.
I know,
No, it
right?
doesn't.
So, Sophie, I've got some questions directly for you here, straight up from the Scooby-Doo Mystery Inc. round.
You ready?
You ready for this?
Ready?
Yeah, sure.
Because
Okay.
we're going to keep it quick, fun, and just loose for you.
Okay.
Who's your favorite Scooby-Doo character?
Scooby.
Of course it is. Who's the funniest Scooby-Doo character?
Scooby.
Of course it is. Who's the smartest one?
Girl with the glasses.
Velma.
You don't even know her name, so you don't even care. Scariest type of monster?
None of them.
I bet you if it was a monkey,
Fred.
it'd scare her.
Man,
Or
Fred.
giant bat.
Fred seems the type.
Fred's scary.
Fred is scary.
Fred seems like the kind of guy I wouldn't hang out with.
Because he looks like that. Just trying to be a cool kid.
Doesn't
Like
make
that,
him scary.
try to be a famous kid in school, trying to be the best athlete in school.
Would you join the Mystery Inc.?
Yes.
And would you rather have Scooby snacks or one of Shaggy's giant sandwiches?
Scooby snack.
She's not really into sandwiches.
No, I'm not. I only
know.
eat one type of two.
I'm
No,
into
three.
sandwiches, but I would still be down for the Scooby snacks because I know what's in them.
I mean, if he makes a bacon and egg sandwich, I'm taking it.
Yeah.
I'll take a breakfast sandwich. I like those.
Okay.
Or the sandwich that I like.
Of course.
And then the last question. If you're with Mystery Inc. and y'all got the monster tied up, would you pull the mask off?
Yeah, sure, but first I'd be like, have you ever been to Hogwarts?
Stop.
No. No.
The wrong universe.
Yeah, that's not
Hogwarts
what we're
doesn't
doing.
exist in that universe.
Oh, yeah.
This is the Mystery Inc. universe.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah.
But
So you would
there's-
be brave enough to pull the mask off of them? Be
Yeah,
like,
I mean-
it was you.
I mean, I would go behind. I would go behind it.
Well,
then
they're
I
tied
would-
up usually.
Yeah.
True, but then I would lift it up because
You just gotta go. Yoink.
I just don't trust. Or I would go on the side and then I'll see
That's
the
what they
face.
always do.
Because I don't trust being on the exact front.
Oh, okay.
I don't trust.
I think
it.
she's scared.
Yeah, she's scared. Don't be scared, homie.
I do that all the time.
You scared?
All right then.
Kind of.
You're scared. Scared, chump.
No.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Yeah, you scared.
Please stop.
You're scared.
Please stop.
All right.
So anyhow, thank you. So as we kind of wrap up here, just so you all kind of get the picture of it and get the, the ideal of it, like Scooby-Doo is more than just the cartoon about a talking dog and a group of meddling kids, as they're called. It's one of the one of the most important gateway horror shows ever made because it introduces younger viewers to the concept of the monsters, the haunted place, the mystery, and all that jazz. And it's a way that still feels safe and fun. So, as we kind of go through it, and we, ask Sophie and then we ask Sarah, even, when she thinks back on it, it wasn't always necessarily scary. But again, like Sarah said, it was horror adjacent. So it had the elements, it had the beats there, but it's not even one of those things where it's like, oh, I can't sleep at night. But it still gives you kind of that ease in. And I wonder what would be next, though, because it's like as you're growing, you watch Scooby-Doo, and then it's like, what do you go to next? Because there's always got to be kind of a progression, because you can't just go from Scooby-Doo to Child's Play.
No.
Like, that's a big jump. It's like, oh, Scooby-Doo's cool, and then you see a little running doll, like, terrorizing people. It's like, whoa. There is no middle ground. I needed a little bit of a warning here, guys.
And I think maturity, and then like going into stuff like Are You Afraid of the Dark, Goosebumps,
Yeah,
kind
I
of brings
guess
you
that-
closer.
That makes sense.
You gotta weave your way into things.
Yeah, I like
Things like
kinda lame.
Coraline and
Coraline's wild.
That's
though.
a good
what's the
movie.
other one? Bride, the Bride one,
Corpse
Corpse
Bride.
Bride.
Corpse Bride, yeah,
But that one's a musical too. But still, that one's a little creepy. Coraline's definitely a very
It's a
creepy
good-
child
it's a very good
story.
one.
Coraline's on the next level of like.
So like I think like
I
after
don't
you have
think
like
this might be okay, but it is.
and what's funny, she watched that like before Are You Afraid of the Dark. But anyway, like you have Are You Afraid of the Dark and like Goosebumps, and then going into like Coraline, and then you move yourself gradually through the ages, and then you eventually work your way into stuff like that. I mean,
see.
like Gremlins is one of those things you work your way up to.
Yeah, Gremlins I think is Yeah,
It's like that in-between thing.
Well, I'm also thinking about like just the years, like
Yeah.
in like real times, like you go Scooby-Doo, then maybe you get some of those like Scooby-Doo meets the Three Stooges, Scooby-Doo meets Batman, Scooby-Doo meets the Harlem Globetrotters, stuff like that.
Oh my God, I remember that one.
And then you got Gremlins, and then you just kind of start moving into.
You got
this
yourself like some Ghostbuster stuff. And
Ghostbusters is a good one. At least the
they
first one.
had cartoons and they had movies and
Well, Ghostbusters had 2 cartoons. There's Ghostbusters and then the real Ghostbusters, which
we've talked about before.
There's a whole thing between rights and all that stuff. TV rights versus movie rights. It's crazy. Like y'all thought Sony and Marvel Studios was wild, but this one was next level.
Shoo.
But yeah. So for adults, the show carries nostalgia.
Yes.
For kids, it's more spooky, fun, spooky entertainment, and for like horror fans, it works like an early blueprint for the genre.
Mm-hmm.
Again, creepy locations, strange legends, or as I like to say, urban legends, masked villains, chase scenes, and the final comfort of knowing that the truth shall set you free.
I don't know if they can handle the truth though.
You can't handle the truth. I remember we did that in drama.
That's from the movie.
We did that in drama. Well, we didn't do it, but like our school did the play.
I've never watched the movie.
I only know the one scene because that was like the big scene.
That is the
was
one
the
thing,
promo
yes.
scene.
Mm-hmm.
Like I feel like sometimes I want to watch it, and I'm just like,
I feel like there's some old movies we need to go back and watch just because like we've never watched them, or
I also feel like there's some movies I just don't need. It's like the time has passed. I don't
not
need,
necessarily.
For me, like the interest has passed. Like A Few Good Men was one of those ones where it's like I feel like I wanted to watch it back then. It was like as time went on, I was like I think I would be alright without. And then what was it? Carlito's Way was another one that was like I was always obsessed with. Mm-hmm. I have it. I never I think I sat down and started watching it.
Never seen that.
And I was just distracted, and I've never revisited. So, whatever. There's a time and place. But yeah, ultimately, yes, Sophie.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
Do you find Scooby-Doo funny or scary?
I find it to be silly.
That makes sense. But who would you like to be if you were in the show?
I'd probably be Shaggy.
Yeah, I feel that.
That seems like a good choice. What
I feel
about
that.
You, Mom?
Oh, I'd probably be the Velma.
Yeah.
I'm with Scooby here. I'm not going with Fred.
All right, then.
Leave him in the van.
He is usually the driver, isn't he?
Even though if he finds anything in the van of evidence, hand the evidence to me. You're just gonna sit in the back seat.
Thank you.
Okay, honey. Thank you. I think Fred was the only one with a license.
Probably.
Because, you got 2 women.
Well, he's probably the only one that had he's probably the only one that had a license because everybody else aren't they teenagers?
I don't know. I feel like they just didn't let women drive.
Shaggy looks like he has a goatee.
And Shaggy seems like the type, like, he probably is incapable of driving, if you know what I mean. And Scooby's a dog.
He's a
talking dog.
Dogs
but I feel like just in the hierarchy of it all, they probably let Scooby drive before the girls. They're like, give it a try, sport.
Wow.
And even before Shaggy, it was like, we don't trust that guy, even though you've been hanging out eating the same Scooby snacks as him. So
I mean, Shaggy looks like he'd be around like some point in his 30s because he has a little goatee.
30s, no, just because they have facial hair doesn't make them that old.
Yeah,
I always thought they were all like in their early 20s, like college age.
That would make sense.
Like they're not in high school because they should be in school. So they must be, and they're not, to me as a kid, they weren't married with children. So they must be in their 20s.
Yeah. I don't know if I ever really thought about that age, to be honest.
Oh, well.
Until this moment.
Well, then there you go.
I also never really thought about what time period they were in, but I like to think they're in like the 1920s. So
I think they're in the 70s considering the way they're dressed.
Probably, but I'm just thinking because the women aren't driving.
You know what?
Oh my God.
Formulaic.
You need to
Fred
stop.
just drives, okay?
They just chose him like, all right, who's the driver? Him.
All right. So anyhow, that's why Scooby-Doo still works. It lets us be scared. It lets us laugh. And then it reminds us that not every monster is what it appears to be. So there you have it. And Sarah, my last question for you. Why do you think Scooby-Doo still matters and works after all these years?
I don't know. It's just kind of it's become its own like iconic thing. Yeah,
they do keep like going. They return to, well, you know why it continues to work? IP.
I know.
Oh, okay.
Like, they can drop a Scooby-Doo movie every 3 years because they have to, because
They
they lose
always
the rights.
come out with new toys for them, even though it's, there's always coming out with something for them that keeps it relevant.
I really like the
Yes.
Scooby-Doo movie.
Well, that's my
But
next question
wait.
for you. Should we do another Scooby-Doo episode, specifically the movies?
Sure, because I remember one where Shaggy destroys a 3-headed dog.
Cerberus?
Yes. And with that little weird dog.
Oh,
with
that
the
one.
weird
That
laugh.
cartoon one that came out a few years ago.
Scoob.
Dastardly?
Yeah, him. I like that. I like that movie.
Yeah.
I feel like
It-
we
it's a good
have
one.
that on digital.
We do, I'm pretty sure.
I think we have it on Movies Anywhere. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
we do.
That would make it digital.
But, yeah.
So, what, watch for dinner?
Yeah, sure.
It could be a fun one. Yeah,
We haven't done that in a
eating
while.
ribs.
Yeah, it's time for that.
And as my final line here goes, and remember, sometimes the monster is real. Sometimes it's just a guy in a mask. And sometimes it's just your dad making you talk about cartoons on a horror podcast.
It really is.
So, as always, to you guys, listeners, thank you. If y'all have any questions or concerns or criticisms, please feel free to reach out. You can always find me at So You Like Horror on Instagram, all the words separated by underscores. You can email to, I suggest you don't, but you could. I will see it. I just don't check that email a whole lot because y'all don't be reaching out. But I do hear from folks on Instagram quite a bit, so thank you. If you want to be a guest, you got an idea for a theme or an episode, reach out. We got you. I think our next episode, because this is May right
Yes.
Yeah.
now. May has 3 Fridays, or not 3. It has an extra Friday.
Yes.
So it kind of throws things off a little bit, but it gives us a little bit of time. So I think the next one we're going to probably do is going to be Demon Night,
Oh, love that one.
because I will be doing Tales from the Crypt later in June.
Yay.
So, I like to pocket everything together, keep it connected. So be on the lookout for that. But again, thank you, folks. We do appreciate you. Any feedback, criticisms, all that stuff. It's awesome. And thank you, Sophie,
You're welcome.
splitting your time up from your fun activities and all your birthday stuff. Happy birthday to you.
Whoop, whoop. How's it feel to be a decade? Double digits.
It basically still feels the same being 9.
Okay.
I still feel the same. If I feel different, I'll let you know.
Thank you.
Okay. We appreciate that. Like Mark text, I had mentioned her play coming up. He goes, dude, it's just so cute and crazy to think like she's doing like theater. And I was like, dude, she just turned 10. It's crazy to think like it's a decade.
We have kept her alive for a decade.
You know how many plants I've killed within a month?
Yay.
Ivy? Yeah, you killed Ivy.
You know how
English
many-
ivy.
Who's Ivy?
No, it's a plant.
It's a plant.
That
And they're really
shouldn't
hard to
die.
kill.
Oh.
And I found a way.
You did.
Yay.
And then how many turtles and fish I've lost after a month?
That was because you were promised piranhas.
Well, so the fish is a whole different thing. But like even off of that, I've had so many fish that just didn't make it. Not responsible. And then the turtles, I guess, also too not very responsible.
Probably.
But here, like, look at me now, thriving as a
Look at you.
full-grown adult for 10 years.
Woohoo.
This isn't about her; it's about me.
That's hurtful to the heart.
So, thank you, kid. Thank you, wife. Thank you, listeners. And y'all know what it is. You all keep listening. And we're gonna definitely keep making these shows. Thank you, everyone, and goodbye.
Happy Mother's Day.
I think that's good for now.
The end.